Hello and welcome, it is Daddy Jimbo, and this time we are retro mastering the Pokemon Snap. Now this was an old school classic for the N64. Instead of capturing Pokemon, we're taking photos of Pokemon, capturing their beauty and in all their glory in the wilds. So this game was a special one also for me, because I used to play it with my brother and sister, and we used to do competitions who could get the best pictures. We used to make a whole Excel spreadsheet of who got what. It was madness, but I loved it regardless, and it was a great game for me. I thought it did everything that you could imagine for a Pokemon Snap game. I guess it's the only one that I've actually really know that you take pictures of things. That is the main task. Not many games do that, but if there's other games, let me know. I'll definitely be intrigued about them. But yeah, this game was fun and enjoyable to get all the mastery achievements. So yeah, I hope we can get that all sorted, and I'll get you to show you how we do it. And if there's any questions you have, let me know in the comment section. But we are going for every single achievement in Pokemon Snap. So we start off in the beach, and there's lots of Pokemon to capture here. One being the Pikachu right at the beginning, and the Dodio, which you can later on take a better picture. Meowth, Snorlax, Lapras, Pidgey, Chansey. There's loads. Kangaskhan, so there, and Cypher, and then also Stump Pikachu, which is also an achievement, which we'll show you later. But no, so we started off great, taking a load of pictures on the beach just to get ourselves started. Nice and simple, I think. It's not like a crazy game where you just got to learn every buttons, but we have to capture photos in the best possible way, where they're doing special moves like so. Pidgey doing a whirlwind of gust, and Meowth taking a bit of a hit. And once you get to the end of the thing, you head back to Professor Oak. You gotta submit those photos and basically attain the best score. So once you get back to Professor Oak and submit all your pictures to him, he will then start grading them and giving them a score. Obviously you want them in the middle, which gives you a ×2, but you also got to focus on pose and size and technique, which technique comes into what actions they're going to do, and pose is just kind of a good center kind of style, but yeah, that will come later. So yeah, obviously scoring, as you can see, we did a grade not too bad on that one. Pikachu and Meowth, we did it. I think he comes with a technique. No, he doesn't, not this one, but you can get him on the technique one. But no, I enjoyed this game, and it was really fun to get all the achievements on this game, as I was saying. And the first one obviously coming up in a minute, which I'll show you, because the technique. So as you can see, we got a special in this one. It's where it's Gust and Pidgey, which should have given me a achievement, but we also got a screeching one, which is one of the first achievements that we get, which is get a pose score of 1250. So there's our first achievement, nice and done, and we've added to our score, which we need. And we also need an achievement for all 63 Pokemon taken, or photos taken, which is pretty easy. Some of them can be a bit difficult, but once you figure them out, how to get them out of their shell, you'll be able to score it. So Professor Oak unlocks a new course for us, which is now the tunnel course, and this map was a fun course to play. There was lots of extra moments in this, shall we say. So once you start, you literally can take a picture of Pikachu. He'll run down the hill and he should jump onto Electrode, which if you take a picture of him and submit it later on when you get back to Professor Oak, that should pop an achievement for you. I did play the level before and did unlock the apple, which I will display at the end of this little clip. I just thought it would be easier just to get the tunnel run properly done, show you guys a bit more, because with the apple it does provide a little bit. Obviously with throwing Pikachu, you can do that. You can throw the apple to Zapdos, but we can't unlock him until we get the flute, which is lovely and fun. So once you run through the level, you will get to the end and you will see Magnemite in front of you. You can now obviously take a picture of him. Before you couldn't take a picture of him, but with the apple you can now, he'll be happy and take a picture. But if you see to the right, you should see Electrode, and if you dash a little apple at him, he will go kaboom, and he'll create a new pathway for us to go down, which unlocks a new course. Lovely. See, you can't beat these old school games. Just add a little extra features into it, just make it a little bit tickly. So as you can see, we have gone back to Professor Oak and we have submitted our pictures. So if we submit our lovely picture with Pikachu on the ball, this should be our next achievement that we will get. As you see, you can get extra special points for Pikachu because he's on the ball and he's happy. So yeah, this is all great for points, I guess, if you're going for that high score. We got 14 Pokemon unlocked now as well, and you need the report score to unlock further items in the game, so do take good care of your Pokemon snapping skills. So obviously we unlocked the apple previous run, but I thought I'll just add it in just to say where you get it. Usually Professor Oak gives it to you and then the achievement will pop for you like so. Thank you for the apple. I don't know if I would eat it because I'm not sure where you taking it and why are you giving me so many. But either way, because we hit Electrode, we unlocked the volcano course, which gives us our 5th achievement. So this map was a fiery type map, as you can imagine, of being in a volcano. It has lots and lots of Pokemon that to offer, being these Vulpix and the Rapidashes. Also lots of ones that you can unlock and evolve in this one, as it can be. Actually no, not, there's only one Pokemon you can evolve. Actually, I take that back. But there's fighting scenes, and you can also get a load of Charmander armies come towards you, like so. If you just throw these 2 apples at these 2 gentlemen, he cools down his bodies, and if you bring him closer to you, you should get a nice little pick, and that should also count towards another achievement of getting Charmander score. Oh no, it won't get the you have to get Charmander score over 4,000, but we didn't get that in this run. We got a score of having multiple Pokemon over 1,000. So this was a great picture to take, so please keep that in mind. Now obviously when you're taking a picture of Moltres, it's another achievement. If you get her in that Ember state and also take a picture of those Mangafine, you should get an achievement for both of those, with the Embers of a good score for Moltres, where you should need her over 4,500, and then for Magma you just need to capture a picture of them fighting. So nice and simple. You can also get a picture of Charizard once you've taken all the pictures and thrown an apple at him and make him go into the lava pool. Lovely. So with all that all done, submit your photos. Make sure you get the ones like the fighting Magmas and the Moltres. Try and get your best to do the score one. Like I said, I recommend doing one where she's got the flames like so, and they should get you those extra points. Now for the Charmanders, obviously we're trying to go for the 4,500. We didn't get it, the 4,000 points on this time, but we got the how many Pokemon in the same amount of Pokemon over a certain score, which there you go. Submit a Pokemon with multiple Charmanders over 1,000 score, which gets our 6th achievement. Nicely done. Thank you for the Charmander army. And then we got Moltres, who decided to do a beautiful pose, which got us some extra points. And then we got the double score, so it took us over the 4,500, just about though, but we managed to do that nice and easily. So then moving on to the Magma one, like I said, if you get that fighting Magma, it gives you that little special 800 points. Nice, Kachinga. And then you should get your achievement of afterwards. Nice. So with that all done and dusted, we got an achievement for 20 different Pokemons, and that's literally just because you snapped 20 different types of Pokemon. So it gets another achievement. Very nice. So you head back to the main man, and he gives you another achievement for the next course, River Course. I hate this course due to a later achievement, but even so, yeah, it's got lots of Pokemon in it, lots of things that you can adapt to with the surroundings, and also Pikachu at the end, which is lovely, which is another achievement, but we just could not capture that guy. So obviously with this all being done and dusted, so we head back into the river, because I was thinking, why is the next course not coming up? But we needed the Pestable to unlock the next course, which is secretly hidden. But even the button's not hidden, but to hit the Pokemon onto it is. So if you get like we've unveiled these two Porygons and taken a little lovely picture with them, but there is one more Porygon that you can capture, and it's here, which he should jump out of his little hiding spot, jump onto a button, which unlocks our next place, which is the cave of wonders. So down into the cave now, and finish the mission, or the course. We did also take a good picture of Bulbasaur, which you have to lure him out with an apple, and that got us on an achievement for submitting a Bulbasaur with over 4,000 points, and a real Bulbasaur. That comes into the cave situation where there is some fake ones. Obviously then going back to Professor Oak, from there you then go into the next course, which gives you another achievement, the cave course, and we can start beginning to go down deep in the cave. As you can see, we took a lot of pictures, and there's the fake Bulbasaur. But with this part, I would say I took it a little slower, because there is a task that you can do here, is where you rescue Jigglypuffs. So if you throw a Pestable at the coffin, you should be able to release Jigglypuff, or set Jigglypuff free, or from coffin, for whatever he's deciding to do to her, and help him, or help her, should I say, come on the. So we submitted that photo, got our achievement for a single Jigglypuff on the stage. You can obviously, there is another achievement for doing it on a trio, which we will do it later, but for the time being, we managed to do it. Thank you. I had to go back into the cave and capture one new Pokemon, which I didn't capture Victory Bell. That's why I just thought I'll capture her. But I also did, I don't know how you get the Zubat to drop the Pikachu. I just kept on throwing balls and hope for the best. He eventually dropped, and we managed to take a picture of Pikachu flying down on the balloons, which is another achievement. It's very nice and handy. I still to this day don't know why, but I also got an achievement for taking a picture over 5,000 points, as well as the balloon achievement. We also took over 40 kinds of Pokemon pictures now, and we got another achievement for that one, so nice and dandy. So Professor Oak has said we need to go to the course that he's got something, and its Valley course has now been unlocked. Fantastic, great success. And so we go down to the Valley course. As you can see, there is much more Pokemon that we can capture and see. Geodude and True. And if you do special things like taking off those Geodude off the walls, Sandslash and Graveler fall down. So going down the water slide, you can capture pictures of Staryu, which then goes in the whirlpool and catches Starmie. We also can throw a couple Pestables to capture or unleash Dragonite. So once you see this little Squirtle, you could aim in at the Mankey, throw a Pestable, and Mankey gets knocked off the mountain. Unlucky Mankey. But then he appears around the corner, where you can take a couple of photos to get a good picture of him. But also, sadly, you gotta throw another Pestable at him and knock him out onto the secret button, or the supposed secret way. But then this leads you down to a secret path where we see a familiar face waiting for us, and he then starts to talk about these Pokemon signs, and he came to see one in this valley, being the trio, and I'm not too sure how he missed him or wasn't able to get him, because yeah, it's quite big, which we'll see later on in the video. So obviously then Professor Oak talks about the signs, and so this is our next task that we need to complete and go and find these signs in each level. We also, once we finish that, we got the dashing tool, which helps us got us achievement, and also that helps out. So we start off with the beach. We knocked out Dodrio, got a picture of him lying on the floor, but we also took a picture. Now that we have the apple, we lured Pikachu onto the surfing board and managed to snap a good couple of photos on here, which is also for an achievement, so please do that. But if you turn around, you should be able to see a Kingler for your first sign. So as you can see, this is the Pokemon Pikachu surfing, and this will got our next achievement, number 20, and nice. And then also we submitted for the sign photo, so that also got us another achievement. Then we also then went back to Professor Oak, who then decided to give us another achievement by giving us the musical flute, Pokemon flute, for scoring over 130,000 points. Yay! Thank you, Professor Oak. You are useful. So we're back in the cave, back in the tunnel, and we get to Zapdos, where you lure Pikachu over to Zapdos and play the flute, which unleashes him. I advise doing this because you will need this for the Pokemon sign. You can do it another way, but I find this way a lot more simpler and more easier to do, and it just saves a lot more time. So once you have unleashed Zapdos path here, we should see a sign on the wall, which is a pincer holographic sign, and if you take a picture of that, you should get the next sign. We also combined all the Magnetites together with throwing apples together, and which was able to snap another new Pokemon, which is Magnetung, the three-headed warrior. So that was perfect then, and then so obviously we submitted the sign, and which got us another achievement. Nice. So there we have it. Now on to the next one. So moving on to Volcano, and the sign is right at the beginning, which is handy to know, but you have to throw 3 Pestaballs into this pot of lava, which I didn't realize it was 3, but once I threw the third one, you should see a little smoke come out. The sign was like a coughing sign. There he is, and if you take a picture of that, it gives you the sign. I also did the achievement for getting Charmander 4,000 points over. Now that they can dance by using the flute, it gave me a better picture, and it gave me the score that I needed for the achievement. Thank you, dancing Charmanders. They dance the night away. There you go. Perfect. Nice. So obviously we submitted also the signs achievement, and so that achievement also popped up for us. A lovely gas of smoke, which is classed as coughing. Perfect. So we then moved on to our next achievement, which is in the valley. Now that you have the flute, you can also wake up Vileplume, and he does a little dance for you. But above Vileplume, you should see a little Marowak. If you take a picture of that, that will be your next achievement. We also then had to take a picture of Speedy Gonzalez Pikachu, which was not as easy as I thought it was, but yeah, if you manage to take a picture of Speedy Gonzalez, you will also get a achievement for this. There's lots of Pikachu achievements. I think there's a favoritism in this game. So we submitted that picture and got the achievement, and then we also submitted the sign from Marowak and got that achievement. There you go. We're now on 55 Pokemon now as well. So we head into the cave to find our next sign, which is located in the Jigglypuff and Coffin and Weeping Bell room. You'll see, if you look to the far left of the room, you should see these little wind turbines going round, which design wise for this sign was the best sign, and how they managed to do this I have no idea with the back of days graphics. But if you take a picture of that little middle piece, you should see a Mewtwo sign, which is absolutely gorgeous. and it should get you an achievement. So we're on to our last sign. I wonder where it could be. I don't think I'm going to be able to find this one. Oh wait, there it is. Dugtrio, the one that Professor Oak failed to get at the very beginning. So we found all our signs, which is a great sign. And also we head back to Professor Oak to tell us that we have found all the signs to him, and he then creates and says, there's something mysterious going on here. So he helps us unlock a new course. I wonder where we could go. We've been everywhere. We've been in the mountains, been in the forests, valleys, beach. Where could it go? Yes, right. We get to go into the cloud, Rainbow Cloud. Exactly. Which also gets you an achievement and unlocks. So with Rainbow Cloud, it's one of those special maps where you get to see a certain person named Mew, and you need to take a photo of him. Now, you can't take a photo of him because if you try to take a photo, he goes blanked out. So you kind of got to break his bubble with a load of pestables and try and then capture a photo of him. It's easy said and done, because sometimes it did not want to work for me. But once you found the technique and found my footing, I managed to get him clunked out. Once the field breaks, you just need to snap a picture of him and you can finish the mission. Now, there is an achievement for getting Mew with 10,000 points, which we'll come to later. Well, we submitted that photo and finished off that level. It was only Mew in that level, and it then also finishes off the game. So there is the game finished, completoed. Not quite. We still have loads of achievements that we need to attain, and they're little ones. So once we managed to get past the credits. So we managed to get past the credits, and Professor Oak calls us in. He then tells us about his academy that is supposedly doing a high photo score. So he tells us that we've got to go back into each level and do a challenge score for each course. So with the challenge score being set high, I thought no problem, I can easily do it. So we head over to the beach. We managed to get some more photos, and especially ones that we need to do before we can get achievements. So what I would suggest, take as many photos as you possibly can while doing the challenger scores, and the best photos always help out. So make sure that you are fighting as best as possible. So once you get to this little area also, I would advise throwing a load of pestables, and after taking the picture of Lapras, into the little bush where you can see that it's being cut up, which is by Cypher. There he is. But it also helps two certain little gentlemen or people or creatures, whatever you want to cast them as, to come out of their hiding spot, and you need to quickly just take a photo of them, of Pikachu on a stump, which unlocks you another achievement down the line once we submit it. So I also threw a pestable at Chansey because I didn't have Chansey yet, and also then took a beautiful snapshot of Lapras, which also got me another achievement for scoring 3,000 points with her. Lovely. So you also can throw Pestable at Kangaskhan, just get a better photo if you require. So last time I did not get an achievement for the Gusting Pidgey, so I thought I'd try that as well and finished my film. Now I advise finishing your film as much as possible. It helps with the score, and as you can see, we finished the beach score with a little bit of a breeze. Nice. So here's my Pidgey. I managed to submit that, and I got the achievement for the Gusting Pidgey this time, which was luckily. I don't know why I didn't get it originally, but I also submitted the stump ones and got a great score considering how far I was, but also got an achievement for that. Now with this beautiful photo that I took of Lapras, also gave me just about the score for the Lapras of over 3,000 points. Nice. So we headed back into the tunnel where we had to score obviously the higher score again. So remember to take as many pictures as you can and try and get the best pictures you can, like Pikachu on the ball, Zapdos, all those kind of pictures comes in handy. Like so. This is where I scored the high score of Zapdos, but it's just making sure that you do it and get the best picture you possible can. So with that being said, we managed to complete the tunnel with, again, ease. Nice. And we also took a great photo of Zapdos coming out of his egg, which got us achievements over 4,500 points for Zapdos. Nice again. So Volcano is up next. Now this one took a little while to figure out how to get the best score on, but we managed to do it relatively easy, and also gained a new Pokemon by throwing a couple of balls into the little balls over here. It throws out either Growlithe or Arcanine. It can be a mixture, but on this occasion I got 2 Arcanines, which I didn't know was even possible, and there's your Growlithe. So with that being finished, and we managed to get a massive score. Well, we just about finished this one, and managed to get the high score. We got that achievement. Now on to the worst one for me. I was stuck on this one for a little while. River was a bit of a pain to finish, but we also wanted to get the achievement for this gentleman over here, which is Porygon, which you have to score over 4,000 points with them. Now they are currently camouflaged, and I wasn't aware of that. Well, I was aware of that, but I didn't know you could release them into their normal color, which I finally managed to do, and managed to find a snap of a good shot when they're eating, and got the achievement for, well, I'll be getting the achievement for that in a moment once it pops, once we've got our score, which we managed to finish with a decent amount. Nice. Easy enough the challenges are. Great little challenges if you are going for those, and you can see what high score you can choose. Yeah, so I chose this of a perfect picture where Porygon's happy eating his food, and it also bumped my achievement for the 4,000 score. Nice again. So on to the Cave of Wonders, and we thought there's quite a few achievements that we didn't have in this one. One being Ditto, and also there's also other Pokemon that we haven't captured, which one being Muck, which you throw a pistol at one of them 3 times and you can easily get that achievement. Now we also went for this achievement for the trio of Jigglypuffs. So if you get a little bit, you usually have to use your speed boost to try and get there a little bit early, so it gives you enough time to make sure that you can capture all 3 Jigglypuffs, or capture all Jigglypuffs, or put them on the stage. But you just need to chuck all the Pestaballs at the coffins, and that should announce their little trio on stage. And that once you submit a photo with all 3 in sight, it will count towards your achievements. So please do make sure that you do get all 3 in the photo, otherwise you will not get your achievement. Nice. They're singing cheerfully. And there's our achievement, Singing Trio. I wish I could be on that stage because I do love to sing. So our next one was one that I never knew was even possible. You have to get Pikachu down and also get Articuno out. So once you've released Articuno and Pikachu at the same time, Pikachu's dancing, you kind of just got to slow as much time as you can, which I advise using the C buttons, which slows you down a lot. But you just need to wait for a shiny figure coming up behind you, and take a picture of the Pikachu. I managed to just about get it. And all you need to do, we got an achievement for the complete cave, which is very nice, but you just need to submit the flying Pikachu, which will unlock another achievement for you. I did not know this was in the game, so it was great to see a new thing, but we didn't score very good on it. That's just, yeah. So our next issue was Articuno, getting 4,500 points for Articuno, and I didn't know there was a thing, obviously I said it before, but you could slow down your cart. So once you get near the singing jinxes, you can literally press C a couple times, which will slow your cart down, and Articuno will be able to pop out a little bit better for you to take a picture. And the one we submit was enough to get. So yeah, I advise just using the C buttons to slow you down, turn left the screen left and right constantly, and then snapping away once he's emerged and get him fresh out the egg. So our next one after this was back in the Cave of Wonders, and it was the Ditto. So the Ditto, I found that people found it was difficult, but if you get a good run of Dittos like this and throw the apple just off the cliff, they should come a bit extra closer, and if you snap a good shot, it will become perfect for you to attain that 4,000 points. Now, I saw a lot of people were struggling with this photo, but it actually took me a couple tries. I was quite surprised. Once you get a good photo close enough, and have another ditto in the thing just to get those extra points just in case, it becomes a bit easier. So once we submitted the photo, the size was good, the pose was good, and then obviously the times too. So then we submit it with the extra 680 points with the extra Pokemon. It took us over the 4,000. Easy. So we're back to Professor Oak, and we got our last course and our last challenge to do. Now this one wasn't terrible because there's lots of ones photos that you can get, but one achievement that you will need to get is all the dancing gravelers. You need all 3 in the photo, otherwise you will not get the achievement. So that was fun. We also got a Magikarp who was flapping into a waterfall, and then next minute, oh my god, it's Gary! It's Gary the Gyarados! He's popped out to say hello, and so you snapped him for a new Pokemon. He was one of our last Pokemon that we needed in this run, along with Goldeen, which I also take a picture with. And once we got her, we had completed all 63 Pokemon we needed to snap. Nice, guys. And we got the challenge for that pretty easy, I must say. So once we got submitted all the dancing gravelers, got that achievement, and we finished off there and got the 63 photograph all 63 Pokemon, got that achievement. So we had one more achievement left to do for just the main courses, and that is the 4,000 points for Quetzal. Luckily he's right at the beginning, so you can literally practice as many times as you want without having to go too far into the level, and as long as you get a good photo of him, you should be able to score a good score easily. I got a perfect score, I'm not even gonna lie, I was well happy with this. But yeah, we got a perfect score, and we got a high the 4,000 points that we needed. So on to our last level, the doozy one. So if you smack up Mew with your Pestables, eventually what you can do is hit Mew with a Pestable and she will start spinning. Now this is the way that you're going to need to learn and when to throw a Pestable and how it works. It took me ages, I'm not gonna lie. This challenge took me a while to do, because obviously trying to make sure I got enough photos and also a good enough score. Now you kind of got to guess. If you throw a Pestable, it spins, and if you leave it for a little bit before another one, it slows down more. You'll catch up more quicker to the Mew. But if you just kept on throwing Pestables, it takes a little while, I thought, to get to Mew. But we managed to submit a good score to get the challenge score, and also then I managed, after pain and pain and pain and pain of getting so close to the perfect Mew picture, which you have to score size 1,000, pose 1,000, and this was the perfect picture. I've managed to finally take of Mew, where it has to include all her tail and have to have the feet also in the picture and have it in the middle. My lord, this was a hard achievement and made me cry so much. I've seen people who've done it quicker than anything, but this took me actually nearly 4 hours to get, and I was so happy when I finally got it. So with that being said, and that is the last achievement, we managed to get Mew over 10,000 and finish the game in 8 hours and 26 minutes for all achievements. Not a bad time, I thought, and I was so happy to play this game again. It was been so fun. All the achievements were such good achievements to get, and I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. So yeah, I will be doing more soon. Banjo-Kazooie is probably on my next list to do, so please watch out for that. But I also am doing more Pokemon games. Take care.